right, so today, as you can see, I thought we would start laying down, and this is because we are going to concentrate on our good old bowels today. Everybody probably experiences some sort of bowel upset at some point in their life, and as we get older, sometimes things don't move as well as they used to. So let's, and believe it or not, you can do some stretching to help your case. So the first thing we're going to actually start with is a little bowel massage. So what I like to do is you're sort of going to be following the route of your colon. So we are going to start on our right hand side over by your hip bone. You're going to massage up the ascending colon, across the transverse colon, and down the descending colon. And then it sort of takes a little turn back as if you're about to finish that square or rectangle to the middle and down. So sometimes you can actually help move things along by doing this. So I like to use both hands. Starting at my right hand side over by my hip bone. And you can use as much pressure as you need. I like to push fairly hard so that I'm really pushing stuff along. And I kind of think of it as, when you're trying to push out the last bit of toothpaste from the tube. It's kind of what we're doing here. So you might feel a little discomfort. I have a little spot right here. And as long as it's not too painful, try and push that out. Sometimes when we are impacted or we've got some feces in there, it can be a bit painful trying to get it to go around and do its full up and over and back down around the colon. So this kind of can help us out a bit. I always find that this last turn on the left-hand side, so the last corner that it needs to take before going over and exiting the body, can be a bit I don't want to say tight, but you can feel a little bit of twinge in there sometimes if there's something that is trying to make its way. So just feel it out. I like to use both hands to really kind of push along, but do it to your comfort level. And so again, what we're doing is we're going from you're definitely going to want to start from the right hand side. You're going up, over, and down, kind of like a square or rectangle, depending on your body. And then you're going to start as if you're going to close off that rectangle or square, but end sort of at the middle, and then you're pushing down. And that's that last little route that it needs to make before exiting the body. So sometimes that can just help move things along. Let's do it one more time here. And again, we are being stretchful during our session. So feel where maybe there is a bit of a twinge there that needs some work. You can push into that area more. And if there's spots that are really easy peasy, then give them a little love, but then you can move on. And like I said, I usually find that last little left corner, you might feel a little bit of discomfort pushing into that one. Go back over. remembering to breathe. We don't want to hold our breath. And then down and out. So do that as many times as you need to. We can also revisit once we've moved things around. I like to sort of start with that because then it might help move something or release something, if you know what I mean. If you're by yourself and in the privacy of your own home, by all means, we'll let that go because that's going to help it. So another thing we can do is still remaining on our backs. Let's keep her easy peasy for right now. Is we can do a spinal twist, which is really good for the bowel area, kind of like wringing out a towel. That's how I think of it when I'm doing it. But again, that can also help massage and move things around. So I'm going to start on my right with the right hand side here. So I'm moving my right hip over to the side of my mat. I'm going to hook my right leg over top of my left leg. And then you can use this other hand if you want. Again, you might be up here, down here, wherever you are, as long as you're getting the twist in, it's all good. We're gonna pull over to the other side. You might hear a crack in your back, and that's okay. The more we loosen up this area, the better it is for our bowels. So that's one twist that way, and then we can reach our right arm to the other side, looking over our shoulder. And really pressing down and getting a good twist in that bowel. Again, wherever you are, it's fine. Like if your leg is way up here and you're just pushing from here, that's fine. The biggest thing is getting that twist in your lower abdomen. So let's take some breaths here. Breathing in this position is really helpful to sort of that wringing out of the bowels. Again, pay attention to how things are feeling as you're breathing. Maybe you can pinpoint where there's a little twinge. You might even feel some things starting to move along since we already massaged it a little bit. Stay here for as long as you need to. And when you're ready, let's move out and move to the other side. So I'm going to bring my leg back over, and I'm going to move my bottom now over to the left side of my mat. This time hooking the left leg over the right leg, pulling with my right arm, using it as leverage to pull myself over. There's my crack. And I'm going to put my left hand out to the side under the door, which I'm sure my cat is going to enjoy because I can hear him. And again, looking over your left shoulder. Taking as many breaths as you need to. Allowing things to release if you need to. That's a normal part of being a human being. No shame. feel like you've had enough here, you can move back to the center. Let's put our legs fully out and just feel how that felt on our lower abdomen. And let's give one more little massage here before moving to one last twist and stretch. So again, I'm going to start on my right hand side. Pushing that toothpaste through the tube as I go. And remembering to just pay attention to how that feels. Go over the last little bit and out. Beautiful. Awesome. So let's go to a seated position. So I am going to bring myself up. And what we will do here is another twist. So actually I'm going to start it like this. So what I like to do is we'll start with my right leg. I'm going to hook it around my left leg like so. And then I'm going to take my right arm, wrap it around this leg. Actually, I'm going to bring it in with my left. You can also bring your right. Basically, we want to just hug it in as tight as we can because you'll feel that nice compression and stretch in the bowel area. And then when you're ready, you can also look over your shoulder. So you can spin this way. Now you can use your arm, your left arm on your right to really get some leverage to spin around. You can also just hug in. And sometimes the hugging motion does more for the compression of the bowels. I prefer sort of this hooking position when I want to crack my back. But this is great for compression of those bowels. So let's stay here for a second. Remembering to breathe. Your hand can be in any position. So you might be hanging on and you might have your hand back here. You might have it up closer to your bottom. You might choose to just hug with both hands. Whatever feels good for you and feels like you're getting a good twist in there is what you should do. Then we can do the same thing on the other side. So left leg over right. Using, again, we could use our arm as leverage to really pull ourselves around, or we can just hug with the right arm. You could hug in with both again, or you can put your hand behind your back. I prefer to put behind my back. I find that what this does this way is it gives me leverage to sort of put myself in a somewhat upright, straight position if we're talking about proper posture. And this in turn helps with the twisting of my lower belly. And again, then we can look over our shoulder if that helps. If you prefer straight, that's also okay as well. Remembering to breathe. Every breath you take, you can picture sort of the breath sort of massaging those kinked up bowels, if you will. And then when you're ready, let's do one more thing to help ourselves out here. We are going to do a up dog. So you can get yourself sort of as if you're going to go into that plank position, where you're going to put your feet, so the tops of your feet are going to be flat on the ground. And you can have your hands shoulder width apart. You can bring yourself up and hover if that feels good. This would be a more active stretch. And what this is doing is really stretching out those abdominal muscles and really stretching out sort of the whole belly area as a whole. If you ever look at what our bowels look like on an anatomy picture, you will see how crammed in they are. So by stretching yourself out, you're giving them a little bit more room to move. You can bring your legs down if that's more comfortable, a more passive stretch, and which actually can help because by putting your legs down, you're anchoring them and allowing them to push open that pelvis a bit more too. You can look up. I find looking up helps to really elongate the stretch. So if I think of it starting all the way down here, all the way to the top of my head, I find that this really helps in getting a nice stretch in the belly. Remembering to breathe. You don't have to look up, you can look forward. You could look down if that feels better for you. And then when you feel like you've had a nice stretch out, bring yourself down slowly. And you can lay yourself on the ground. Take in as much time as you need to feel into your body and see if anything loosened there. Stay here for as long as you need. You can wiggle around just to see if everything is feeling good, or you can continue with some of the same stretches or massage until things feel a little bit better. But again, I encourage you to continue to listen to that body. And until next time,